Hello, welcome back to the channel, thanks for stopping by, and today we're going to get a little bit fuzzy. Okay, so today what we're going to be doing, we're going to be checking out a new fuzz pedal that I've just picked up. But very quickly, a couple of bits of housekeeping. I've got the chapters running below, so you should find this little intro, the unboxing, some tones, and then just final thoughts. So you skip around and enjoy your stay as you wish. Other than that, please don't forget to like and maybe even subscribe. Failing either of those two, just leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of the video in the comments below. But it really does help, the channel, myself, and just doing this. So yeah, don't forget to do any of those. But yeah, thank you very much. And without further ado, let's get into today's video. Today we are looking at the Behringer Fuzz Bender. This is a pedal that I've recently been gifted from a friend for my birthday. So it was a really nice surprise. And I thought, well, let's open it together. Let's see what this sounds like. Let's see what this looks like. And just make a video on it. So I've not had a pedal like this before, and what I mean by that is I've not owned nor played through any of the Tone Bender series fuzz pedals. So they're those early 60s or 60s fuzz pedals. I've not even, I've not tried any of those, and I've not tried a clone of those. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what this is about. From the reading that I can found online, this is based off of two models with the switch you've got. You've got the Mark 1.5, which I think is the more famous of the two, and then you've got a modulation switch that you then goes to the Mark II. But yeah, so I've not tried any of the Tone Bender style pedals before, so really looking forward to getting into this and seeing what it sounds like. So what we're going to do is going to very quickly transition over to the desk and the slightly out of focus camera, and we'll do an unboxing and we'll see what you get with one of these. So let's very quickly have a changeover. Okay, so we're over by the desk and we're ready to get stuck into the unboxing. So first thing to note is this is quite a big box, just to start with, especially comparison to some of the recent pedals we've unboxed. So yeah, interested to see what's in here. You'll see that this is already gone, but this hasn't been opened yet. This was just or certainly not opened by me, so this is the first time looking into this. So you've got your standard stuff on one of the sides, and then a little piece of artwork there with a QR code, and then your standard manufacturing stuff on the side. So if we open it up, we're greeted with a little message here. There's a musician in every human being. And the first thing you get is the paperwork. So I'm guessing this is the user manual. And then, yeah, various bits and pieces. We're not going to bother with that. First thing we've got is some more cardboard. So we'll pull this one off, and that reveals the pedal in a little baggie. So we'll pull that out and just pop that to the side for the moment. There is nothing else in here. So there's quite a lot of cardboard in there for, the pedal. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's here in one piece, but that's just to note. It's quite a lot of cardboard, which, yeah, not a bad thing. So there's the bag, and it's sealed, so we'll have to just force our way in here. I've done a really good job of keeping this baggie in the state that it could go back in. So we're just going to pop the bag and this little bit of cardboard back in the box. We'll shut this up and we'll get it gone. Oh, I forgot this. So here's the pedal. It's quite nice. You've got 4 feet on the back. A little bit of information about the power. So at the top, you've got your input, your 9-volt in, and then your output. And then the controls are nice and simple. You've got level, you've got attack, then you've got your mod. So you've got your original, so the Mark 1.5, or the mod, which I believe is the 2. So there you go. Nice decal at the top here. I'm assuming that attack is fuzz and level is level, but we're going to find out again. I've not had one of these pedal styles before, so I could be wrong in that. We'll find out once we plug it in. But yeah, pots feel nice. This switch also feels nice, good quality there. Nice Behringer at the bottom. Got a bit of silver, and then just a nice grey finish. Feels good as well. Feels well built. So that's it. A nice and simple unboxing. Let's head on over and get it plugged in. Okay, so we're back, we're plugged in, and we're all ready to go. So as always, we'll very quickly just reference the other bits of gear that we've got going on here. So we're starting here with my Hanson S style. We are going to move on to some humbuckers later, but just turning this pedal on for the first time, I wanted to make sure that I was as close to my norm comfortability zone and just knowing how everything works. So we're going from the Hanson S style through the practical patch cables to the Fuzz Bender, and that's being powered by your Voodoo Pedal Power 2, Marcus Deluxe pedal board, and then from there again your practical patch cables all the way through to the Gain 1 channel of the Kraken, which is my favourite amp that I currently have to pop a fuzz pedal through. So the clean tone sounds a little bit like this. So that's how that sounds. Again, I never play fully clean, so I appreciate that there's some, you might not call that clean. That's there you go, a little bit of dirt when I really dig in. So without further ado, we're at the original. We're going to get rid of the mic. We're on the original setting, everything at 12 o'clock. Let's turn it on and let's see what it sounds like. So let's get rid of the mic and let's get into it. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
I suppose you think that was terribly clever.
Okay, let's go into a little more detail than that. This is a great pedal. I think it sounded great with both single coils and humbuckers. It's going to take a little while to get used to this mod. I'm not 100% convinced I've got that right, that it's saying that it was on the Mark II with some sort of, I don't know, but so please don't quote me on getting that 100% right. But let's talk about the original setting with the fuzz maxed out, and then the level, I think I got to it to sort of 1 or 2 o'clock before I started clipping going in. That's a me problem, not a you problem. I didn't know this was going to have as much the boost in it, especially when you initially clicked it on at like halfway and it wasn't quite unity gain, so I didn't expect it to then start really smashing into the front of the amp. I love various things about this pedal. One, the fact that just both things at midday where we kind of started it was like, okay, there's some hair, I can feel it, but it was manageable from the off. It wasn't just like straight in with 100% and then where do you go? There was a huge scope between at the top and 12 o'clock and all, and balls to the wall, all out. You had a lot of gain tonal variety, gain variety within just quite a small scope. And then as you came back and you started putting the level up as well, we did a little bit of that. That really pushed the front of the amp really nicely. Whatever this is doing in that original setting is glorious. The mod setting is not bad, but it's definitely, there's a sound there that if you're not after that sound, you're not going to use it. So I need to play with that in my own time, just finding out what this thing to do. I love the way that it cleared up with the volume control. Really loved how it reacted with the amp and the guitar, and how hard you picked, the dynamics, where the controls were, the change in tone. I just think it's a great pedal, and the fact that you can pick one of these up for, I had a quick look and they're generally $59.99, I think, although as of today, so the 24th of May, I'm sure I saw DV247 or something had them for $49.99, so 50 quid for a great pedal. It's built really well. it is metal. It's not your typical sort of plastic stuff that you'd get from Behringer. It's a great pedal. I really hope you've enjoyed listening to it, and how it sounds. I hope you are as impressed as I am. So let me know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed the video, maybe hit the like button or even hit the subscribe button. But yeah, thank you very much for sticking around, and until the next one, take care.